Hello guys, welcome back to Coding Cafe. So in the previous video tutorial, as you know that we have we have added this open gallery, which is basically an intent which will which will send the user to his mobile phone gallery once the user click on this image button. Now the next thing which we will be going in this video tutorial is that once the user select a post image from his mobile phone gallery, then we will basically get the result of that image, or you can say that image, and we will display it here on this image button, and then we will ask the user to write the post description, and then the user will be able to click on this update post button. So yeah, let's do it. So all we need is to create here Onactivityresult method. So here we can say Onactivityresult, which is this one. So inside this method, after this super.onActivityResult, we can simply write an if condition where we will basically check the request code. If the request code is equal to gallery pick, that is if the image is picked from the mobile phone gallery, then we will add an and condition. We have to check for another thing, which is the result code. If the result code is equals to result OK, the same which we did on our setup activity, but there we were using the crop image functionality. But here, as you know that this is our post activity, here we will allow the user to add, we will save the complete form, or you can say the image in his full pixels inside the Firebase storage and then in the Firebase database. Okay, so now the next thing is the data. If the data is not equals to null, and then inside this we can create we can say image URI, which is the variable which we will be creating now. So copy this, and let's first initialize this variable here at the top. So after this we can say private URI, and this is our image URI, and then we can say image URI equals to data dot get data, put a semicolon, and then we can say select post image. So we are now going to display that image, so we can say select image dot set image URI image URI, and the image URI is stored inside this image URI data type variable. So we can simply paste that image URI here. So in this way we will display the user on that image button. So before we move forward, let's first test our app. So our app is running now successfully. Let's go to the post activity and let's select image from the phone. So from here let's select this image, and here we go. You can see that the image is selected successfully. Now the next thing is to get the description for this post image, and then we will allow the user to update post. So yeah, let's do it. So now we basically get the image which is stored inside this image URI. Now the next thing is to set a click listener on our post update post button. So once the user click on that button, we will add some validations, and then we will store it inside the Firebase storage and then in the Firebase database. So we can say update post button dot set on click listener, new on click listener, and inside this on click method we can simply first create a method by the name validate post info. So let's create this method, and inside this method she created, now here we can first validate the post description. We are now going basically to get the description from this edit text field, or you can say from this multi-line text, and we have to add some validity on it. That is, if this is empty, then we will notify the user, or if the image is not selected, then we will notify the user to first select image from his mobile phone gallery. So here we can say string description equals to post description dot get text dot to string. And now let's add some validations. So we can first check for the image. If the image URI is null, it means that the image is not selected. So we will notify the user by a toast message, and we will tell the user, please select post image. That's it. And then the next thing is the post description. So you can simply copy this if statement and we will change it for the post description. So here we can say if text utils dot is empty, which is the post description, that is if the post description is empty, then we are going to tell the user to please write post this, or instead of it we can say please say something about your image. Please say something about your image. Instead of just writing if, you can add here else. Okay, else if, so that it can check for it. And then we can say else if both are okay, that is if the image is selected and the description is written, then we are going to store the image first to the Firebase database and to the Firebase storage, and then we will store the link of that image from the Firebase storage to the Firebase database, and also we will store the post description inside the Firebase database, and then we will do the rest. So first let me create a method. We are going to create a method by the name storing image to storage. Storing image to storage, or instead of calling it like that, we can say Firebase storage. It will be more appropriate. So we are going to create this method first, and now inside this method what we gonna do, that is, okay, first of all come here above and let's make this variable global. Okay, let's initialize it above so that we can use it outside the method also, because we will be using this this description string type variable. So now from here you can simply remove this string because we have already initialized this variable above. And now we can say here inside this method, we can say, so first of all we need a reference to our Firebase storage to store the images. So we will create here a reference. So let's create it. We can say here that is private storage reference, and this will be our post reference, post images. Let's call it post images reference. And now come down here inside this onCreate method. Here we can say post image reference equals to Firebase storage dot get instance dot get reference. Now come down here, and inside this method we can first, we are going to store the image which a user select from his mobile phone gallery. We will store that image first to the Firebase storage. So here we can say storage reference, and let's call it file path equals to post image reference. And then now we are going to store this image inside the Firebase storage. So first we will create a folder just like we did for the profile images, if you remembered. So here we can create another folder for the post images, so we can say post images, and now inside that folder we will store the post image of a user which he select from his mobile phone gallery. Now here comes the most important task. Okay, first let's write here a semicolon, and now here basically comes the most important task, that is to give basically a random value, a random name to a post image. I mean, there may be thousands of users of this social networking app which we are going to develop, and let's say if many of them will have a same image inside their mobile phones by the same name. So I mean, it will replace the profile images of the user. So we have to assign a unique name, or you can say a random name to the post image for each user. So for doing that, first of all, we will save the image real name, I mean, which is the image name, and then we will add a random key to it. So instead of creating a key method, I mean, which will generate random keys for us, or you can say random name for us, what we will be doing, that is, instead of storing the image by the random name, we are going to, as you know, that we will display the post time and the post date, that is on which time and on which date a user update his new post. So first we will get the post time and post date for that post, and we will store the image by their real name, I mean, which is the image name, and then we will add a post and time. So in this way we can basically give a unique and random name to an image, because the time and date for the image will be different for every user. So first, here above the storage reference, we are going to get the current time and current date, that is on which time and on which date a user will update his post. So here we can say calendar, and let's call it call for date. So we will get the date and time separate. So we can say call for date calendar, CALEN, calendar dot get instance, and then we can say simple date format, and we can say current date, which will be the date and that is at which time the user is going to update his new post. So we can say new simple date format, and here we basically define the date type, that is at which that is on which way we basically want the date to store, or you can say we can get. So DD means date, and then we can write capital M 4 times, which is the month, and then we can simply write 4 small English alphabets of Y, which will be the year. Okay, so put a semicolon here, and then we can say, so this will basically get the current date, and it will store inside this variable. And now this is, you can see that this is simple date format type variable, so we have to store this inside a string type variable. So we can simply say here, I mean, we have to format this to the string data type. So first let's create a variable here at the top. I mean, here we can say private, and let's call it string, and let's call it save current date, and we will be creating another variable which will be for the time. So yeah, let's create that too here, save current time, and also we will be needing another variable. So let's call it post random name. So yeah, now come down here, and now we can say, after this we can say save current date equals to current date dot format call for date dot get time. So in this way we basically get the current date, and we store it inside this save current date variable which we initialized above. Now we need to set the time. So for the time saving, we will copy this 3 line of code, and we will change it for getting the time. So here we can simply paste that here, and now instead of calling it call for dat, we can say call for time, and you can simply here we can say current. Instead of current date we can say current time, and we are going to get the time. So let's define that is how. So first we are going to get the hour, and then we are colon small m, which means minutes. Okay, so double capital H and colon double m, which is the minutes and hours. So yeah, that's it. And now we are going to get the time, so we can say current time dot format call for that dot get time. So in this way we save the current time inside this. Let's change this variable to save current time, which you know that we initialized here above, which is this one. And we create this another variable also, which is post and the name. So what we're gonna do now, that is after getting the save current date and save current time, we can say post random name equals to save current date plus save current time. So in this way we are basically storing the current date and current time, and we save it inside this post random name. So in this way we create a random name for the user post image, so that the images will not be replaced by other users images. Now instead of that we can also use a random key generator method, which will create random names, but this is more efficient than the generating the random keys and then to store it, because it is efficient, because we will be using this save current date and save current time when we were displaying the post on the home activity, or you can say on the main activity, when we will be displaying all user posts. Then at the post along with the post we will display the time and the date, that is at which time the user update his new post, that is at which time he upload a new photo, or you can say an image, or when he update his post. So we will display the current time and current date alongside with the user post. So that's why I explain these things too much, in details. Okay, now here we can simply say we are going first to get the image on name, which is inside this image URI, and then to get the name we basically say get last path segment. So in this way we get the image on name, and alongside with this on name we are going to add this random name, post random name, which in which the time and date we store here, okay, which is this. Okay, and then we have to set the type of that image. So you know that we have to save it as jpg. Sorry, make sure to write here dot. So this is .jpg. So in this way we successfully set the reference. Okay, first we will have this post images folder inside the Firebase storage, and then inside that folder we basically storing the image, and the image name is the first real name, which is the name at the time of uploading, and then we add the post random name, which is basically the time, the current time and current date, that is at which time he is going to update his post or upload the image to this social networking. And then at the end we add the image type, which is .jpg. So yeah, that's it. So now in the next line we can say file path dot put file image URI, and now we have to add a on complete listener to it. So you can say add on complete listener, new on complete listener. So basically make sure to put a semicolon here first. So now we are going to store the image inside the Firebase storage. So if the task is successful, then we can say we will store the link of that. First we will get the link. Okay, let me tell you again. This is basically when we write this file path dot put file image URI, this will basically put the image, it will basically store, or you can say save the image inside the Firebase database. Now this add-on complete listener will basically tell the user that either his image is uploaded successfully or not. So first of all, here inside this task, if the task is successful, we are going to display a simple toast message which will just tell the user that his image uploaded successfully to, let's say, to storage. That's it. And then we can simply, here we can yeah, that's it. And now let's, if any error occur, then we have to display the else statement. So here we can also write a toast message, and here we can write error type. So we can say error occurred, and then first we have to get the error type. So we can say string message equals to task dot get exception dot get message. Put a semicolon here, and let's display the message here. After this error occurred, we can simply write here message. So yeah, that's it. And now this will basically store the message to the Firebase storage. So now let's run our app to see if it is working or not. So our app is running now successfully. Now let's click on this add new post button, and let's select an image from the gallery. So from here we will select an image. So yeah, let's select this image. So you can see that the image is selected successfully. Now here I will write the post description. Let's say this is my post, this is my first post, or whatever you write the description. So let's click on this update post, and here you can see it says image uploaded successfully to the storage. So now if we come here to the Firebase storage, and if we check our Firebase storage, then you can see that our post images folder is created successfully. If I click on it, then you can see that the post image is added successfully. So click on this image, and you can see that this is our image which is uploaded successfully to the Firebase storage. This is it for this video, and in the next video what we're gonna do, that we are going to get the URL of this image. We will store it, we will store the link of this image inside the Firebase database here. Okay, we will create another node just like we create for the users, and the name of that node will be posts, and inside that posts node we will basically add the user post information. So we will store basically in the next tutorial we will save the post the image, the post image, and the post description, and the user ID, that is which user update the post and which user is going to upload the image. So we will add information about that user inside the Firebase database under the node posts. So yeah, this is it for this video, and if anyone is new to our channel, then please subscribe our channel, thumbs up for this video, and see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.